When people look at Cristiano Ronaldo today, they see the trophies, the records, the fame, the perfect image of success. But that's not the story. That's the result. What they don't see are the countless hours he spent alone, perfecting a single movement, repeating the same drill until it became muscle memory. What they don't see is the boy from Madeira who refused to let his circumstances define him. His secret wasn't talent, it was obsession. The kind of obsession that makes you uncomfortable, that keeps you awake at night thinking, I can do better. Ronaldo's greatness didn't begin when he lifted his first Ballon d'Or. It began the moment he decided he would not settle for average. Every day, he treated improvement as a responsibility, not a choice. That's the difference between dreamers and achievers. Dreamers wait for the right moment. Achievers create it. Ronaldo didn't just love football, he dissected it. He analyzed every movement, every weakness, every possible way to become just a fraction better than he was yesterday. That's the mindset of mastery. The belief that perfection may be impossible, but the pursuit of it transforms you. When he was a teenager at Sporting Lisbon, his teammates would often laugh because he stayed after training, doing extra drills long after everyone else had gone home. He didn't care about their opinions. He was obsessed with one thing: improvement. And that's the irony of success. The world laughs at you when you start, but later they applaud the very habits they mocked. Because what they call obsession in the beginning, they later call dedication when it works. This is where most people go wrong. They want results without repetition. They want recognition without resilience. But Ronaldo understood something deeper. Progress isn't about grand gestures. It's about consistency in the smallest habits. He knows that even a 1% improvement every day compounds into something unstoppable. That's how transformation works. It's not visible in weeks, but it's undeniable over years. And that's why he's never satisfied. Even after scoring hat tricks, winning championships, and breaking records, he still trains like he's chasing his first goal. People call it arrogance. In truth, it's accountability. He's not competing against others. He's competing against the limits of his own potential. That's a rare mindset. Most people fear failure. He fears stagnation. He knows that comfort is the silent killer of greatness. Think about it. How many times do we stop when we start to see progress? How many times do we settle when we begin to feel good about ourselves? That's where Ronaldo separates himself. He understands that improvement is a moving target. The more you grow, the more you realize how much further you can go. That's what keeps him hungry. That's why he wakes up every day with the same fire he had as a boy playing barefoot on the streets of Madeira. His obsession isn't with winning, it's with becoming. Because winning is temporary, but becoming is eternal. You can lose a match, but you can't lose who you've become in the process. And that's where true confidence comes from, not from applause or validation, but from the knowledge that you've given everything you have. That kind of inner peace doesn't come from success. It comes from effort. It comes from knowing that when no one was watching, you still gave your best. Ronaldo once said, "Talent is nothing without hard work." It's not a slogan. It's a law. Talent may open the door, but only obsession keeps you inside the room. And the reason he's still dominating after 2 decades is because he never stopped being a student of the game. His body evolved. His playing style evolved. But his mindset, that relentless drive to improve, never changed. The moment you think you've made it, you start to decline. But the moment you decide to keep learning, you stay alive. Not just in the game, but in life. There's a psychological truth here. The human mind thrives on challenge. We are built to grow. Yet most people spend their lives avoiding discomfort. Ronaldo does the opposite. He runs toward it. He finds energy in pressure. He welcomes failure because it shows him where to focus next. That's why he's not just an athlete. He's an architect of his own evolution. Every setback becomes data. Every mistake a blueprint for what to fix. He doesn't see limits. He sees areas for refinement. If you look closely, that's the real message behind his success. improvement isn't about competition. It's about self-awareness, about confronting your weaknesses with honesty and courage. It's about being humble enough to say, I'm not good enough yet, but I will be. That word, yet, is what keeps you alive in the pursuit of excellence. Because the moment you believe you've arrived, you stop growing. So if there's one thing we can take from Cristiano Ronaldo's story, it's this: never stop improving. No matter how far you've come, you're still only scratching the surface of what's possible. The obsession that once looked unreasonable is the very thing that built his empire. And if you want to change your life, in any field, you must be willing to do what he did. Trade comfort for growth and replace motivation with discipline. In the end, greatness isn't built in stadiums or spotlight moments. It's built in silence, in the unseen hours, in the lonely repetitions, in the quiet decision to go again when no one's watching. That's where the real transformation happens. So ask yourself, what are you obsessed with becoming? Because the truth is, your life will always rise to the level of your obsession. When people talk about Cristiano Ronaldo, they often talk about talent, genetics, or even luck. But what they overlook is the engine that drives it all: discipline. Discipline is what turns potential into performance, dreams into reality, and ordinary effort into extraordinary consistency. For Ronaldo, discipline isn't just a routine. It's a philosophy. It's how he lives, breathes, and thinks. He understands something most people never do. Motivation is temporary, but discipline is permanent. You see, motivation fades the moment things get hard, but discipline stays when everything else disappears. It's what wakes you up before the sun rises, what pushes you to train when your body screams to stop. Ronaldo doesn't wait to feel like working. He works because he's decided who he wants to become. That's the essence of discipline. Doing what needs to be done long after the excitement has finished. It's not emotional. It's intentional. From a young age, Ronaldo built his life around structure. Every meal, every workout, every recovery session, nothing is random. He's not chasing perfection. He's chasing precision. There's a science to his success because he treats his body like a project and his mind like a weapon. When others look for shortcuts, he looks for systems. That's why he's been performing at the highest level for over 2 decades. Because his consistency isn't based on passion. It's based on principle. People often misunderstand discipline. They think it's about restriction, about denying yourself pleasure or living like a machine. But Ronaldo's life shows it's the opposite. Discipline isn't about control. It's about freedom. The freedom to perform at your best. The freedom to choose your direction instead of being controlled by impulses or distractions. Every time he says no to comfort, he says yes to mastery. That's the trade most people aren't willing to make. And that's why so few ever reach their potential. Because everyone loves the idea of success, but very few love the structure that builds it. Ronaldo's daily routine is a reflection of his mindset. Disciplined, deliberate, uncompromising. It's not glamorous. It's repetitive. But that's what success looks like up close. The repetition most people call boring is the very thing that produces brilliance. He's not chasing excitement. He's chasing excellence. And excellence is built in repetition. There's a psychological depth to this. Human nature seeks comfort. The brain is designed to conserve energy, to avoid pain, to stay safe. But progress lives outside that boundary. Ronaldo has trained himself to go beyond what feels comfortable. Every workout is a test, not just of his body, but of his mind. He has mastered the ability to suffer with purpose, and that's what separates him from those who quit when it hurts. Think about it. When he's on the field, everything looks effortless. The speed, the strength, the precision. But that ease is the result of thousands of hours of controlled discomfort. The world sees the performance. They don't see the preparation. They see the body. They don't see the discipline behind it.
That's the illusion of greatness. It looks natural, but it's built from unnatural levels of self-control. And here's what's even more powerful. His discipline isn't just physical, it's emotional. He's learned to manage ego, frustration, and fear. When he misses a shot, he doesn't break. He recalibrates. When people doubt him, he doesn't argue. He performs. That kind of mental control is the highest form of discipline. To remain calm in chaos, focused in distraction, confident in uncertainty. Most people crumble under pressure. Ronaldo thrives because he's trained his emotions the same way he's trained his muscles. That's what makes discipline a superpower. It gives you control over yourself in a world designed to distract you. And if you study Ronaldo's life closely, you'll notice something.